Alright, hey guys, here's a little bit of a change of a different topic for what I'd usually do on my channel. I don't know if you guys know what a splatter ball gun is. So I have the srb400. I've had it for a little while now. I did recently just let it stay in my car because me and my buddies would use it every now and again, but that we haven't used it. At least I haven't used it in a while. But because these gel bullets in the magazine, hold on one sec. Okay, no. So they're basically the same thing as Orbeez, if I can get it. They do break up easily. Once they dry out and dehydrate, they'll go back into like little splinters basically. But I left mine in the car for a little while. I forgot I had bullets in this. The bullets in here dehydrated. So there's a couple easy fixes when you have it. There's right here on the side, there's like a little lever right here. As you just saw that. And that lever, there's like a little piece that sticks out right here. I don't know if the lighting is doing it any good. Right where this point is that I'm pointing at, it pulls that lever so you can be able to empty out the whole mag that's right here, that's already loaded up past the little gear inside here. And then you can use the little door right here to empty out the rest of the mag. I got it, there was a bunch of them stuck in there, so I held that lever because there was some that was still decent sized, but some that were like how they usually come in at the very start. I have a couple of them laying around somewhere. How they basically start off at is those little tiny bullets. I'm trying to find one. Oh, right here. So that's how they look like when they're dehydrated. What I did, because I left it in there, so the magazine stopped working for a little bit, but I forgot there was some bullets in there. Whatever. I left it in here, so that I made this kind of like custom. I just had a couple plastic tubes, which I don't have any laying around right now. I have a bunch of them. I got them from work. But there's two of them in here. If you look right there, 1 and 2. The first one I took and I just spray painted it red, the same red that I used on the Iron Man helmet. But it was the same sizes. So what I did, I will use this. It's a little drill bit, circular cutter. I don't know what it's called. Okay, maybe not that one. Let's try this one more time. So I took this and I cut basically, we use this much out of the side of it all the way down the entire thing, which they're only this big. I cut that much off the entire thing, and then I kind of heated it up. I used a lighter, got it nice and warm, then I so it looked like this, and then I just kind of closed the gap a little bit. If you look closely inside here through these holes, you can see it's actually cut. And also if you look right there in the barrel, you can see it's cut. I painted that red, and then I had another one, which is this black one, this is the original size. And then I just used my soldering iron or my wood burner, whichever one I used, and I just melted holes straight through it. I was kind of going for the honeycomb texture. Didn't come out as a honeycomb. I like how it looks. Eventually I'm gonna paint my splatter gun, but as of right now I'm just gonna leave it as is because I don't want it to get all sticky and my hands stick to it when it's my hands are sweaty or whatever. But I like how it came out. That's the only thing that I've done to the rifle, but I will be taking this apart and showing you guys how I fixed mine, because the bullets got dehydrated and it's made my gun stop working. It wouldn't shoot sometimes, but if I put it in semi, that's what it would sound like. I just forgot my window is open and there's people walking by and they're just watching me. So I'll be right back. I just shot it, but it would make the noise if I put it on single. If I put it on full auto, it wouldn't shoot anything. And when it would shoot not a full bullet, but it would shoot it like that, all broken up into pieces. Only fragments would shoot out from the actual gun, and nothing else would. And it kind of annoyed me a little bit. I was looking up online videos, looking all over the place. I couldn't find anything that would help me fix my problem. So I was contacting the actual company, and they said that I could give them my information. They'll send me some info back, and I send my rifle out with a $30 fee, and they'll replace it and send it back to me. And I don't really want to spend money right now. So I just went upon myself. I opened the entire rifle up, and I actually found what was wrong with it, and I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Alright, so you're not really supposed to use power tools on plastic when you're screwing things, just because you can't feel how tough it is, and you usually can strip it out. But I'm not really using it to screw in right now. I'm just using it so it's a quick and fast way to take the screws out. What I'm using is just a Phillips head screwdriver bit that goes into one of my multi-tool kits. And this is by Hyper Tough, not sponsored or anything. And I just take my drill, put it in the chuck. Once it fits, like so, and then torque it down so it's now tight in there and it won't come out. And now I'm going to unscrew all the screws, but make sure you take your battery pack out just so nothing happens, and then unscrew it real quick. Alright, so I unscrewed all the visible holes right here all the way around. There's one on the back stock. If you guys have your stock on, you'll have to take it off, which you just push this lever right here and then you slide the back stop off. I don't keep my back stock on just because it's a lot smaller of it's more easy for me to pull this out from like the back seat if I'm in my car, or if I'm trying to like head over to my buddy's house and we're gonna use this, and if I go to like ambush him, it's just a little bit more compact so I can move it around easier. But so yeah, all these screws right here, this piece you're gonna have to unscrew that and it'll reveal a screw underneath it. Same with these pieces. There's a screw straight down the top on both of them, which I'll show you in a sec, and then there'll be another screw, not on the front but on the back one. So I'm gonna show you this one real quick right now. Right there, so second screw. Alright, and then I'm just gonna rotate the gun. And if you see right here, there's a screw, so I'm gonna take that out. And then this pops right off. It just slides off. You can't move it or anything. And then it reveals a screw right there. And then same with this one over here, but there's no screw hidden underneath it, but you still need to take it off to be able to separate the two pieces, because this kind of holds this whole thing together. And now that it's all unscrewed, I'm just gonna rotate it. There is a couple different things. So one, there is a couple springs inside here. Before you open it, there are going to be a couple springs that might launch out, so careful and open your gun slowly. The first one, I can tell you where they are. The first one's going to be right here, which holds this magazine release open. The second one is going to be right here, which allows you to be able to use this. Everything else should be fine. You might hear a little bit of a noise like a plastic clicking, but that's just a metal bar that goes straight through here popping out of the hole on this side. So I don't know if you'll hear it, but right there. So I popped it open slowly, and you can already see the spring. It already popped off this one. And this is the metal pole that I was talking about that might make noise. And then, no, I need a, it wasn't fully unscrewed on this side. All right, now it is. So this, I didn't get all the screws out. Sometimes they don't come out easily. So I'm just gonna carefully pick this up like this and move it off to the side without tipping it or anything, so I don't lose any of those screws. So this is the internals of the gun. So this is the trigger. Battery's disconnected, so it won't do anything. Trigger, I don't know a lot of these things, but I'm gonna try to say what it is. These are the terminals for the magazine, so you can be able to shoot in it. This gives this power to spin the motor in there so it can load the bullets up. The gearbox is inside this, the spring right here. Like I said, this is just like a metal weight. I don't know exactly what material it is, but it does have decent amount of weight to it. But like I was telling you guys earlier, that the dehydrated bullets were in, like, went through the magazine and inside this, and you can see one right in here in the spring, which that I don't think is going to affect the gun in any way. But why mine wasn't working, and you can, I don't know if this is going to fix yours, but I would first watch this whole video before you go any further. Easy way how I found out it was mine issue was with something else, is because the magazine was working. There was nothing wrong with that, but no bullets were passing through the mag because this kept spinning, so it was grinding up all the bullets in here, so everything was getting destroyed in here and up in here. So that means it's a feed issue where it's not feeding up through here. Like the magazine is right here, so it's not feeding up through here so it can be shot out. So how I found out my issue was, this was before I took it all apart. I looked down like this. I'm gonna get my headlight on actually, so it's a little bit easier. I found it was a little bit easier is if you see that little plastic thing straight inside there, the hole, it's kind of like tan. I had the battery in it and everything, but what I did was I would tap the trigger just like as light as possible, so it doesn't do a full it would go back, shoot, so it wouldn't do a full complete loop. It would just half click it, so it would go click and it would hold it, but then as soon as you hit the trigger again, then it'll shoot the actual bullet. And I was watching, the hammer that's inside here was stopping part way. It wasn't going all the way back, so my bullet wasn't had enough space to pass through here into here to be launched out. So that means there was something wrong within here. I was going to take my whole gearbox apart because I've watched videos and people did that, but there's a lot of more mechanical stuff in here, and the springs it's spring loaded in here, so if you pop that off, then they're all gonna get wonked or like deformed. So I feel like it might be a little bit trickier putting it back together. So what I did was I took it all apart, kinda, which I'll show you right now. This is not going to reveal any of the internals. This is just going to show basically the end of the barrel where it connects, which is hidden behind this. And yes, I'm using my power tool just to unscrew, not to screw in, because there's a difference. And now that this is free, this is where the bullet connects, or the barrel connects to the gearbox. I'm just going to move my drill right here. Can just slide up and pops off. The barrel goes through this, and I just usually set that aside. But make sure you don't forget, because I put this whole thing back together, forgot that was there, then I had to take the whole thing back apart, put that back in, and then put it back together. All right, and then now the barrel is free, so this can pop out. There was nothing wrong with this. There's nothing obstruction in there. There was nothing jammed in there. Same with through this way. There was nothing wrong, so you can see straight through it. So this ruled it, so I didn't need to do anything with that. But as I was looking inside here, because this is the hammer where it launches the bullet out like that, because the bullet loads into the tube and stays at the very end, but this launches back forwards and back, and the bullet hits here and launches out. So I was looking right inside there where that blue part is. Let's try to get a better angle. So right inside here, you can see this metal thing right here. It's not fully back, so that means that this is half cocked, and you're able to kind of like push it back. It's easier with two hands. You see it moving? So I was looking, I pulled it forwards, or I shot it and it went forwards and it locks forwards, but like I was able to pull it a smidgen and it didn't go all the way up. So like, where's my pointer? So if you're looking at it, let's fix the light. If you're looking at it, the metal is right here. Metal's right there. It stopped before it got to the very end. And then when I shot again, it would stop. So that meant there was something obstruction in here that wasn't letting this go all the way back to reset and go back and forth. Which I fixed that. Alright, sorry guys, the battery was about to die. I just plugged it in. Yeah, so it was obstructing, so this wouldn't be able to load back and forth. So I was looking inside here and through this hollow tube, or see-through transparent thing, and I found out that I had dehydrated bullets stuck inside here, which was preventing this metal to go fully back and forth, which was making my gun not be able to have enough space to load the next bullet in and shoot. So I just took a metal wire. I have a spool of just metal wires, and I bent it so I could stick it in here, and I fished it out basically, and I cleared it. So now I put it back I shot it a couple times with the battery on how it is now, and it fixed it where it would go all the way forwards, all the way backwards. Then I put the whole thing together, and I did a couple test shots, and it worked. So that's how I fixed my splatter gun. I didn't have to go into internally like this, take all these out, pop that off. You can if you want, but I'm not going to. I don't think that's going to affect it in any way. If anything happens later on, then I can try or I can send it out. But that's how I fixed my srb400 splatterball gun, because it wouldn't shoot.